Hi, I'm Kim. This is Homestead Witchery, and today we're going to make kombucha for chickens. Now, kombucha is pretty in right now because fermented foods are a big thing. I watch Justin Rhodes, and if you're a homesteader, I'm sure you do too. He recommends fermenting the feed. I like to wet my feed because it bulks it up, like the fines and everything, so the chickens will eat it, and the quail. So I started doing that back in Colorado. And I figure he uses apple cider vinegar. I can make kombucha, and if I use caffeine-free tea, because caffeine's not good for chickens. If I use caffeine-free tea, or like decaf tea, not caffeine. If I use decaf tea, the caffeine content is low enough that... You hear my rooster? He's a jerk. The kombucha will eat the low amount of caffeine that's in it, so it'll be nearly completely decaffeinated by the time the chickens get it. And so I use Homestead Dreaming's recipe for the... I just use her recipe just doubled up. And that is 5 to 10 tea bags. I use 4 family size, and for me it would be 18 cups of water. And I just use 3 of these up to the 6th. And I do 1 jar in here in the pot to cook the tea, and then 2 in the kombucha jar because I don't want to overheat the kombucha, the mother, and kill it. And I also don't feel like waiting 15 years for the tea to cool off. So it's 18 cups of, for my double recipe, which is 2 gallons, 18 cups of water, a cup of sugar, and the mother. And let me get that started. Also, I use tap water because I'm on a well. If you're on chlorinated water, dechlorinate it first. So get however much you need, put it in a jar, or in jars plural probably, and let it sit out for 24 hours to dechlorinate. So I'm just gonna get this started. To make some tea. I actually have a jar left, one of my big jars. So I'm gonna use a lot of these right now. I have a jar left from last batch in the fridge because we don't drink it anymore because of low carb, but it'll go fast enough that it won't matter. And I have lots of jars. Cup of sugar. The sugar is for the kombucha to eat. It's food for the kombucha. Bacteria or whatever the heck they are, I don't remember. Mushrooms or something. Since I only have so many of the big jars, I put the water aside, so I need 12 ounce for 12 cups of water set aside. Then you get the mother out of the jar. You put her aside. Can you reach in with your hands? Yes. Can I deal with that? No. It's over here on the side until we're ready. See how bubbly? It's because it's fermented. Or carbonated. I guess it is fermented. Don't fill the jars up all the way because they bubble up in the fridge and they spill everywhere. Just leave the stuff in the bottom to help regenerate the bacterial population. And then you put the mother back. And the water. I write the date that I need to change it on the jar with wine glass markers. Cover it up with a coffee filter so it can breathe, but dust and cat hair doesn't get in it. But we're not doing this yet. Well, I am right now because the cat's. Okay, it's hot enough to brew, so I'm turning the heat off. Add your sugar. Stir it so it dissolves. When the tea cools off and the sugar's dissolved, just dump it in there. You can squeeze the tea bag. Don't put the tea bags in. Okay, on the kombucha itself, I put today's date, which, hey Google, what's today's date?
It is Wednesday, the 25th of March 2020.
So you write it on there. Dang it. So I'll write today's date on this, all the stuff that's going into the fridge. Hey Google, when is 2 weeks from now?
On the website weeksuntil.com, they say, in 2 weeks' time the date will be the 7th of April 2020. That's also 336 hours away. Do you want a little more context?
No. 2 weeks from now, on the 7th, we change this out just like I did today.
I don't have any information about that. Do you
Okay, Google, stop. Rude. So, I'm going to write the date on all these jars, today's date on all these jars. They go in the fridge to start going into the chicken's feed. In the mornings, I feed the chickens. So I take it out there, come in, refill the feed can, well the feed bucket. And then I wet it with kombucha for the next day. So it ferments a little bit, it soaks the feed, and it puffs it up. And the chickens like it. We've actually discovered that they prefer the wet food. And back in Colorado, the quail did great on it, so I'm really happy with it. This is not the kind of recipe where you're gonna get flavor suggestions, because this is for chickens for me. I don't really like kombucha. If I was gonna drink a fermented drink, it would be water kefir, which I'm not doing because I'm low carbing right now and I can't have all that sugar. But anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. I will see you next week, and thanks for watching.